Can high school dropouts succeed? And why I dropped out. So, high school dropouts, of course, they can succeed. But statistics show that most of them do fail. Now, it depends on why they drop out of high school. Is it because of emotional problems? Is it because of family issues, or they don't like school, or so forth? I have no problem with you dropping out of high school. I have no problem with it. I feel like we should stop categorizing people and saying that they'll fail this way. A GED is perfect. If you drop out of high school, you have an option to get a GED, which is a general equivalency degree. What this does is it basically is equivalent to what you would get as a high school diploma, and that's what I have. I got it right after I dropped out. I dropped out about 3 months ago when I was 17, and now I've just turned 18 and I already have my GED. I just went and got my GED a month later, took the practice exam, and then passed all the tests and everything. And there's 4 different tests you take. You got to pass each one: English, science, social studies, and language arts. So those are 4. Once you pass those 4, you get your GED. Now, what can you do with that GED? You can do a lot of things with the GED, just the same as you can do with a high school diploma. The only exception is the military. They do accept GED, but it's harder to get in. But they still accept it. Other than that, it's the same as a high school diploma, and that's what I have. Now going back to it, should you drop out? Are you feeling like school isn't for you? Well, then I suggest getting out, because that's why I did. I got out because I wasn't getting a quality of education. Not only that, but I didn't like the teachers, I didn't like the students, and I didn't like waking up and having to be there for 9 hours learning things that were irrelevant to today's society and standards. What you learn in high school is basic stuff that prepares you for college, whether that be science, social studies. So there's some of them are good, and some of them you really don't need to learn. And what I was taught there was completely irrelevant to what I'm doing. I wanted to do real estate, and I wanted to be a businessman and start a clothing line called Pulgron. It taught me irrelevant information that wasn't even close to what it was talking about. My education is shit. I should have never, ever, ever been to high school knowing this. And you know what that was? The fact that if you have good straight A's or you have really high grades, that you'll be more successful. Of course, you can get into better colleges, and if you're on the road to be a doctor, lawyer, politician, or I shouldn't say politician, because politicians, they shouldn't, I don't want to go in the politics world, but I feel as if politicians should be normal people that that don't have to have high degrees, but there are people with people that have success, or people that show patriotism to our country, people that show love to our country, but don't necessarily need it. I don't think you should say that they need high school or college degrees. That's a different story. I shouldn't say politicians, my bad. But lawyer, if you want to be a lawyer, or a doctor, or an engineer, or you want to be a car tech, or I can go on. You want to work at a pharmacy or something and make medicine or whatever. Of course, you do need a college degree for that, and I totally respect it. Go get straight A's in high school and go pursue that. But, however, if you yourself, you want to go in the business world, or you want to do something that is not in that area, you shouldn't go to college. Why I ask that is college is expensive. Right now, on average, I should say it's $25,000 a year, or you get $100,000 in student loan debt on average for each student, with the exception of scholarships. But scholarships only pay for a smidgen of what college is. You shouldn't go. Don't get a worthless degree. Worthless degrees are terrible because they cost you money and they get you nowhere. And with the exception of that, colleges are all liberal nowadays. And I'm a proud, I should say, independent, but I lean more conservative, and I have patriotism in my heart, and I should say I'm a Republican, but I'm independent because I believe in things that Republicans don't believe in. But I mostly disagree with the Democratic Party because they're all socialists nowadays, and I completely discuss socialism. Um, but going back to what I was saying, don't get a worthless degree, because what a worthless degree does is it costs you money. And if you want to be in debt, you're going to be a debt slave for the rest of your life. If you ever rack up debt, you're automatically a slave to life. You have to pay back that debt, you got to work, pay back that debt, you got to work. And you'll be working at a job that most likely doesn't require or a college degree. It just requires a high school degree that you could have gotten with no debt. So if you want to rack up debt, you better make sure that you want to be a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, anything that requires a college degree. If not, don't go to college and don't rack up all that debt. It's not worth it. You better go out in the real world and you better hustle and you better grind and do things right. That's the way to be successful. That's the way to be successful, ladies and gentlemen. So you go and do that. You go and do that. You hustle and you grind. Now you're trying to ask, where do I get your information from? Well, we live in a great era nowadays where you got internet, TV, cell phones. I can literally look up anything I want to look up right now and learn how to do it. If I want to learn how to fix a car, I can do that right now on my phone, and I can learn. And about a month from now, if I'm truly dedicated, I will have learned just about, I should say a little bit, maybe to get my hands dirty and really do some good damage on a car and fix it. So now I'm going back to the point. We have all this information. You can find out valid information on how to get there. Now, my question is, do you have the dedication and persistence to do this? That's the thing that's not given to you every day. That's the thing that people lack. You got your cell phones. You got the information to know how to do. Or you got the coaches out there information. But do you have the dedication and persistence? You see, without the dedication and persistence, you will not make it. You will not make it. And dedication and persistence is very rare nowadays. And it's only found in truly successful people and people who love to hustle. So you go out there, you find dedication and persistence. And the way to find it is you better say truly dedicated. Or I shouldn't say dedicated because I'm trying to explain it. You should say to yourself, how important is this goal to me? And keep saying that to yourself. How important is, and if you keep saying it's important, remind yourself that you are the only one that can do this for you. You're the only one that can make it, and you're the only one that can be successful, and that no one else is going to do it for you. Keep repeating that in your head, and I guarantee you that you'll start getting up on your feet and you'll start working. If you can't say that to yourself, and if you truly don't mean it, then you're in trouble. But you always have time. If you wake up every day and you're still alive, you still have time, and don't waste it. A day is very valuable. There's 24 hours in a day. Use each of your hour to be more successful, and use each of your hours to level up in life and elevate yourself. And take advantage of each hour. Take advantage of each minute, because it's very valuable. Time is very valuable, and time is out of essence. So keep that in mind, guys. Time is out of essence. You got to be patient. But at the same time, you got to hustle. And what do I mean by patient? Well, what I mean by patient is don't go in automatically thinking, yeah, I can do it, and have these unrealistic expectations if you haven't put in the time to research or practice. That's like me saying, going to a drag strip and I don't even know how to drive a car, and I'm saying I'm going to be the best. I'm really motivated and dedicated. And you go out and drag strip and make a fool out of yourself and throw the car in reverse accidentally, or you don't know how to shift and you end up ruining the engine. You see, you got to put in the time, basically, and you got to learn your craft and master your craft, and then believe in yourself, dedicated, and be motivated, and you got to have persistence, and you got to keep doing it. That's the way to be successful. And I hope that you guys realize that there's no limits to what you can be in this world. People love to put limits on other people, and they teach that in school. You got to do this, you got to do that, you got to be that. They're just teaching you how to be average. College, if you want to be average, and I'll go back to college, if you want to be average, you follow what an average person says and you get advice from them, and you will be average. you're as good as your teacher's ever going to be. So you better find, if you want to be successful and rich and wealthy and happy and abundant and healthy, you find a happy, wealthy, abundant teacher. You find one. You find one that's happy, you find one that's healthy, and you find one that's wealthy. Once you have found your coach, you better take every single advice that they give you, and you better apply it to yourself, and you better stay dedicated, and you better have persistence. And you do it, and you have it made. Like and subscribe. I hope you like this video, and most of all, I'm posting every single day. Thank you so much, and Jason Davis is out. Peace.